Once upon a time, in the small town of Sunnyvale, there was a school called Maplewood Elementary. The school was like any other, except for one peculiar thing: the school bell. The bell hung high in the clock tower, overlooking the entire playground, made of gleaming brass. It had intricate carvings of stars and swirls etched all over. It rang every morning, signaling the start of another exciting day. But this was no ordinary bell. It had magic hidden within its chimes, a secret known only to a few. Our story begins with a group of curious friends: Max, an adventurous boy with a curious mind; Emma, a bookworm who loved mysteries; Tim, a tech-savvy genius; and Lily, an artist with a wild imagination. They often sat together under the big oak tree in the playground, creating stories and plotting adventures. One sunny afternoon, as they were enjoying their recess, a strange thing happened. The wind blew fiercely, and the bell began to ring rapidly, although it wasn't time for recess to end. The children noticed the other students seemed lost in their world. Not noticing the odd ringing. Intrigued, the group decided to investigate. "Let's check it out," Max suggested, his eyes glinting with excitement. They climbed up the spiral staircase in the clock tower, each step creaking under their feet. The tower seemed taller than it looked from below. At last, they reached the top, and there it was, the mysterious bell. While they examined the bell, Max accidentally brushed against it with his elbow. Suddenly, the entire room filled with bright light, and the children felt a weird tingling sensation. Moments later, they found themselves in the middle of their favorite book settings. "This can't be real," gasped Emma, as they stood in a lush forest reminiscent of a story from her favorite fantasy novel. Tim, always quick to adapt, began examining their surroundings. "I think the bell transported us here. Maybe it rings to take us to new worlds," he suggested, his voice bubbling with excitement. Over the next few days, the friends visited many magical places with the help of the bell: enchanted castles, pirate ships, and even outer space. Each time, they learned something new and discovered lessons much grander than any textbook could teach. However, there were rules to the bell's magic. They had to be back by the time the bell rang again, signaling the end of recess or the school day. Once, they almost didn't make it back in time, and the experience taught them about responsibility and the importance of being punctual. As their adventures continued, they also looked for ways to share their secret without revealing it directly. They created marvelous stories and drawings, encouraging other students to dream and imagine. One day, they noticed the bell rung differently. It was the last day of school, and the bell told a peaceful, beautiful sound as if saying goodbye. When they reached the tower, the bell gleamed one last time before fading into a usual, lifeless school bell. "I guess the magic was only ours for a short while," whispered Lily, feeling a bit sad yet grateful for the adventures. Even without its magic, the friends cherished their incredible journey and vowed to keep it secret, knowing that the real magic was the friendship and stories they created together. And so, the bell became just a bell again, ringing in the everyday, yet holding the wondrous memories for those who knew its secret. And maybe, just maybe, one day it would awaken its magic once more for another group of curious children who dared to dream.